Welcome to episode 4 of Manor Lords. In this episode, we're going to try our best to truly expand, to show the power and dominance that we have, and to stake our claim upon this land.
This will be interesting. So between episodes, I just cleaned up over here, reassigned everyone to the mining pit. Just really wanting to get through this as soon as I can. And started to kind of experiment with some stuff. And I came up with a design for what we're going to do for the manor. And I don't actually think I'm going to show you quite yet. I think it'll be a lot more fun when you kind of just see it. It's very limited. Don't expect too much. The designing of a manor is very limited. That being said, I didn't do the simplest of designs, which means we need a lot of resources. So, needless to say, I'm not going to say exactly how much, but we need a lot more than just 24, or we need a decent amount more than just 24 timber. And the issue is, I think this can only hold, like 28. So, I went ahead and am starting construction on 4 more logging camps to really get this area, because we don't need to worry about this area. We don't need to worry about replanting this area either. So, we're kind of going to go a little crazy here. We also have it so that our saw pit is not going to produce any any planks for a long time. It needs a certain amount of timber. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a project today, but I think we can make it work. And while we're doing it, we're slowly but surely building regional wealth, which should help us upgrade the rest of our town as well. What we're going to do, because we have enough money for it, we are actually going to get ourselves an actual trade route for charcoal. We have a ton of it. It's going to be a little expensive, but I think in the long run, we're going to make some good money off of it. And that should hopefully help boost our economy a little bit in order to get the necessary stuff that we will be needing for expanding our town into something more proper, which I was thinking about. We're still definitely going to go with blacksmith for this one, but I might either with the next burgage plot or with this one here, swap this to a tailor's workshop, because the yarn is good when it's just for level 1, but for level 2, you can see they want 2 kinds of clothing. You want just the very basic kind, and then also either shoes, clothes, or cloaks. Now, normally, if you had good access to leather, shoes would be king every time. But we don't really have a great access to leather right now. So I'm thinking instead we go the tailor's workshop route, and then we go heavily into our sheep. So also with us kind of getting more and more wealth, we should hopefully be able to get more and more sheep as well. So that being said, actually, we are going to import actual sheep as well. Actually, no. We don't need sheep right now, but we will go up to 8. We'll see what that's like. But we really want to get our sheep kind of moving, and here they are. I think they only appear when they're grown up. I don't think they have lambs, so I think that's probably why I didn't see them last time. But we have our wonderful little sheep here, which hopefully, with our sheep farm as well, we should be able to get some good yarn from this and sell it within our area over here. But one thing at a time for sure. One thing at a time. So in just a matter of a month or 2, we have made decent money just by establishing that trade route, I believe. So I think trade routes definitely are going to help us boost a lot. That is good wealth that part of me just wants to kind of keep there, but I am going to, not that much. We're going to go like 3%. Because I do want some stuff in the treasury so that we can get back our retinue, because we can't even muster or rally our retinue because 2 of them died. So that's a little tough. So we need to really build up our retinue as well, make them strong and very equipped. But that's good to see that we are actually gaining wealth off this pretty quickly. And also, I have been slowly but surely trying to do our best to here it is. Trying our best to get a full-time livestock for some of these. So we'll see if that ends up working. I'm not exactly... So Heinz is there. And who is here? Linhart. Not exactly what we're spawning. So we're going to do another one here. Let's see who it is. Aunt. Okay, well, not the most ideal, but again, we'll make it work, and we'll keep on putting along. Winter is now upon us, and luckily for us, it looks as though we will have just enough food to survive this winter. But this comes as a stark reminder of what happened last winter with the fierce fight we had, losing many of our good men and sons. But alas, we will make the most out of this, and we shall bounce back this winter, and hopefully, at the end of this winter, be able to start construction on a proper manor house. So there was a few things I realized that I was missing. One was the clay furnace, which again, I knew that was missing more so for all of our mining pit, because we're almost done there. We still have, I think it's like 50 or so left to get 48 of the deposit to get. And then at that point, once that's done, then we can move people to clay furnace for that. But the thing I totally forgot, and this was just dumb me, was the Weaver's Workshop. For some reason, I just assumed the sheep farm would get it into yarn, but no, this gets wool into yarn. So that's what I need. So silly old me forgot, but we've got them being built, and I decided to build 2 more burgers plots as well. We're gonna need the manpower for this, and especially if we're going to fend off another attack, we're going to need a lot more men here. We need to fill this out to at least 36, and then get a retinue up, and then maybe have a little bit of a stronger spear militia. But hopefully by that point, we'll have our armor up and running as well, so we can actually equip our villagers in a proper manner. And it looks as though the end of an era is coming. We are finally finishing up the clay deposit. It has taken long enough. My goodness. So, clay deposit, once this is done, we will move everyone off except for probably one family just to do all the transporting. So yeah, it's all done. So we're going to move 3 families off, which is great. And then we can now kind of put them in places that we could use them, like the clay furnace, which means we're probably going to need to up this as well. But for now, we're going to put 4 families there since we got another one moving in. And we are so close to being able to build our wonderful manor house into something so much better. But until then, we're slowly but surely, we're kind of consolidating what we need to do in the early game, which is great. We no longer have to worry about clay, which is incredible. And eventually we won't have to worry anymore about the manor house, or at least nothing extreme about the manor house. The trading post we've got all set up, and we are just, I guess the next thing we would need to do for early game stuff is just upgrade the wooden church, which that's not even totally early game. So I think we're doing good. We made it through the winter with 5 months left of fuel. We'll put someone back on berries once that's growing as well. And food is starting to become a little bit more regular. We have good amount of vegetables every year now. Eggs, I still don't understand. I think eggs are all just a bunch of hoax. I think in the future, I'm not going to do chickens. I mean, I know that every once in a while, it seems as though we get some eggs, but it does not seem consistent enough. And I don't know enough about them. If you guys could let me know, that would be incredible. Does it actually matter if you have more land or not for chickens? I could see it going both ways, so I'm really not sure. Again, this is having so much issues, this house specifically. So I might, just for this house, just because it's being silly, I might just have a... Because, yeah, even this house has stuff, or at least they're not complaining about it. Might put another market here, and then we can put someone in the second storehouse, and then the second person in the granary can have theirs as well. So we'll have 2 here, and 2 here as well. I think that makes the most sense. Eventually, we will need, so if we look at this, we will need tavern supply, which will be just through the ale of the tavern, but we don't have any way of getting ale, and ale is really stinking expensive. So I think we're going to wait a little bit longer until we don't need too much more of a treasury, and then what we'll probably do is then we'll import ale, or we could import malt, which, where is malt actually? Would be here? I think it would be here. Yeah, malt. Which malt is considerably cheaper, I think. So importing it is 14 versus ale to import is... we don't know. Okay. That's lovely. I'm assuming, though, ale would be a pain to import. So, I don't know. Maybe it is better to get a malt house instead and then just make the ale ourselves. Because I know we can do that through the brewery. So that might be a short way to do, is we just import malt. But malt can get expensive. It can get expensive very fast. So I think what we're going to need to do is prioritize what we can with this regional wealth. We should, once we build this out, we should then do one for bows, for longbows, and then possibly one for tools. Now, again, still don't have tools to build our wonderful blacksmith. But once we do, we can build tools from it. So the irony is we need tools to make tools. It's not any fun at all. But we'll focus on that later. For now, we need to focus on producing planks so that we can get enough for our manor house. And as I said that, I realized we have enough for a manor house. So let's jump in to building this thing. And with that, after almost a full year of waiting, we have finally a proper manor with a new garrison tower. This is incredible. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It is a full-on castle on the hill. So each of these supposedly can actually now house up to 10 villagers to kind of sit in there and, or a garrison, and actually shoot out. And then obviously we have, the gates for the main road into the town. We have a tax office, which does absolutely nothing. And as we were waiting, though it took us an entire stinking year, we have slowly but surely built up wealth, which is great. And we built up a wonderful church as well to our next level, which I think means we can raise our taxes to 8, 9, 10%. Oh, no. Never mind. What about 4%? Yeah, let's just do 4% for now. That seems like a safe bet for us. And with that, rather possibly brief interlude in this wonderful series, this is a great push forward. While not a lot necessarily was seeming to happen, a lot got done. We were able to upgrade our manor to something actually very good and defensible, so next time we can have more of a fight an unfair fight, we should say, which we want. And we've got our small church, which is great. That's obviously increasing our happiness as well up, which we love. The clay furnace is we've completely exhausted all of our clay there. Where is that at? Yeah, all of our clay is completely processed, which is lovely. So that means we have a ton of roof tiles. So now we have nothing left. So we're done with the clay furnace, and I'm actually just going to demolish that. We don't need that. And we have a bunch of unassigned families, which is terrific. I mean, this is great. So 2 of them will go in the forager's hut for sure when the time comes. We've already got 1 there. We might boost our production here and just try to keep on selling because we've been making a lot. And the benefit of this is, and this is, I think, just a great tax policy, maybe IRL, and that is the wealthier the people get, then by proxy, the wealthier the government will get as well. So if we can encourage more wealth growth for regional wealth there, we're making more money per month because we're making 3% of this every month. That's, or I guess now 4%, which that's what we want to see. We want to see them getting a ton of regional wealth. And that also is so helpful for us because anytime we want to make an upgrade, hey, we can easily afford 15 on there. Or, hey, we want a new trade route for warbows. Hey, we can afford that. New oxen, new cattle, anything like that, we can totally afford. So, wow, we have a ton of stuff here, which is great. And I think what that actually means, and this is going to be really beneficial, I think, in the long run, is we need to find a stable that has 2 people in it. This is not great. Where are you at? There it is, small stable. And then assign a family there, so they are always doing something. I know that the livestock trading post also has some people here, some trading, or some ox and stuff like that, which is totally okay. We don't dislike that at all. We'll add another family to the trading post, and then we're gonna get this production back up and running. I think exactly 1 for 1. We might want to even upgrade this later on to see if we can really make it booming. But next episode, hopefully we're able to get finally our tools, and then we can actually start creating our own tools, and that I think will just skyrocket us to making a lot of money. We can equip a really good retinue. Right now we have decent money, but we don't want to go too crazy because right now, for the first time ever, we actually have money for mercenaries. Crazy thought. But this is, I think, what we would want to do in the event that we did get attacked now, because we don't want to have to put our own villagers' lives at risk. So that's where we'll stop for today. Thank you so much for watching. This has been an absolute pleasure to be doing this. So hit that like, subscribe, helps me out a ton, and I will see you next time.